Hush, here. Actors should be unseen and unheard to the curtains open. The fact is, the cast and I are feeling a little nervous about tonight because, well, the play isn't quite finished. Oh, don't worry. We're gonna go on. The show must go on. I don't know who said it, but I'd love to put my hands around his neck. As I was saying, the play isn't quite finished. And the thing is, Mr. St. John couldn't decide who the murderer was going to be. He wrote different endings in which various suspects could be revealed as the murderer. But he still couldn't decide. And they got closer and closer to the opening. The air, that's A-I-R, grew so thick you could cut it with a knife. It got so bad, Mr. St. John had a temporary breakdown. And the reason he's not here with us tonight is because he is in heavy sedation, surrounded by soft walls and lots of padding. Some people have all the luck. The cast and crew and I are here, though, and we are determined to provide an entertaining show for you, even if it kills us. That's just a figure of speech, of course. Which brings me to the main point of why I'm up here. You're going to have to help us. In your program, you'll see we inserted a loose slip of paper, a ballad of sorts. As you watch the first act, you'll see which characters have the motives to kill a person who will indeed be dead by the time the act ends. During intermission, we need you to check your ballot on your program and give it to your usher before you break for intermission. We'll tally them up quickly, and for the second act, the cast will perform the scene Mrs. St. John wrote. At least that we think will happen. It got very confusing during rehearsals.
It's a wonder we didn't kill the playwright.
Quiet! Look, we might as well get started. I saved my seat down there in the front row where I can follow along and help out in case things get a little shaky. Which they won't. But just in case. Are you ready, cast?
As ready as we're gonna be.
Then, let's do it! Places, lights!
Specific instructions that he wishes to see everyone in the
Just do as you're told. Go to the kitchen and wait there until I summon you. Not that way. Have you forgotten already? I told you to go out the front door and around to the back door. Nope, but I was hoping you had. That man is such a bitch. I heard that.
Where do you want me to put this, Minerva?
On the coffee table. And be careful with it.
Yes, ma'am. I think everything's ready.
You think wrong. Place the cups on the saucers, so all we'll have to do is pour the coffee.
Yes, ma'am.
The others are coming in here too. I was just informed by Miss Fancy that Mr. Starkweather would like the servants present as well.
He wants the servants here.
Precisely. Even Rufus. If I had informed that earlier, I would have ordered him to take a bath. He's been outside in the rain parking cars. That might have helped just an empty bit.
If you ask me, no blood wouldn't help.
Be that as it may, I shall go get him and Mrs. Trent.
Why does Mr. Starkweather want us, the servants, here?
I'll flap my crystal ball and let you know. Don't you remember what I told you when you first came to work here?
Yes, ma'am. Do as you're told and don't ask questions.
Exactly, so stick to that.
I will, Minerva.
Jordan, I never know what to wear to special occasions. I guess Uncle Simon invited us here as a special occasion.
No, but if we do scarce consider it, most of the time they call us lemonade, then yeah.
So you think Uncle Simon treats us like jungle cats, like roar, like that?
No, not that purrs. That purrs. You know what? You'll find.
Thank you, son.
Well, anyway, if we're ever going to inherit this volume, I'm from the Adams family. It's on party.
Counting chickens, are we?
Oh, nervous. I didn't see you with your chocolate up in there.
Nancy is a nice girl, and I need for her to stay that way.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
I doubt that.
I don't understand.
I believe that. Miss Fiona, why don't you have a seat, and I'll bring you some coffee.
Coffee? That sounds nice. It is a little damp in here.
That's because it's a lot damp out there. How do you take your coffee?
Well, one of them prefers like, I like mine. I'll do it myself.
Whatever.
These are delicious. Buy me some.
Glad you like them.
Well, you can get Nancy.
Thank you, sir.
Sir. Well, that oh, right beside me. Just call me Jordan.
She'll call you Mr. Starkweather the way a compliment should. And if anyone calls you different, it'll be me. And you don't want to know the one I'm thinking of.
Well, sir, you never change.
Neither do you. More's the pity. I think it's next to your mother.
Yes, you're certain.
My, Kathy. I just don't see how y'all can stand living out here in the building with 5 restaurants and movie theaters and service. Why, I get so depressed. I just sometimes think about it.
It's not that bad, Paula. I stay here during the week and go to my apartment in the town most weekends.
I'm so relieved to hear that.
I work for a large corporation before Mr. Starkweather hired me to be his personal secretary. But believe me, this position is much nicer.
Well, look what we have here. Weather, sunshine, sun, moon. Ladies.
Cousin Jordan, you are a rose and charming.
I'll do my best. Join us.
Have a seat over here. You'll be safer. I'll bring you some coffee.
Thank you, Minerva. I'll take mine black.
Well, it's just when Rick decided to come to the trip to start with the convention, we just thought that, he passed on.
You wish.
Even I started to pack my new black dress.
It was a natural assumption. Like, really. He's old and he's sick. We're just happy that, he's still with us.
Yeah, right. Oh, Kathy, I'm sure you know why Great Uncle Simon called us here. Come on, tell.
Well, Miss Vincent will go into the particulars, but I believe Mr. Starkweather wishes to discuss his will.
Oh, really?
I'd appreciate it if you don't get your nerves.
Why do you get jealous? I was just surprised, that's all.
Kathy, where's Simon? I mean, if we're going to talk about Will, he should be here.
When I contacted him last week, he said that he could make it, but we all know now he's going to be late. But if he tried to call here tonight, he couldn't get through because the phone went down.
Well, he should be here. He is Great Uncle Simon's only grandchild and all.
Yeah, he'll probably get everything.
Excuse me a minute.
I hate to interrupt. You're doing good, guys. You really are. Folks, I suggested to Mrs. St. John that these family relations might get a bit confusing. And he agreed. And he was writing a statement that explained everything when snapped like a rubber band. So I'll just tell you. And I think the family tree might be in your program too. Here's how it works. Simon Starkweather, the old billionaire, married late in life and produced Simon Jr. Simon Jr. in turn married and produced one heir, Simon III. The original Mrs. Starkweather, Simon II and his wife are now deceased. Old Simon's eldest brother, Paul, married and produced Bella, who married Lucian Thompson, an Atlantic businessman, who had Paula here. Paul, his wife, Bella, and Lucian are now deceased. Simon's younger brother, John, married and produced Heir, who married Fiona and had Jordan here. But you already know that. John, his wife, and Eric are now deceased. I realize that's a lot of dead people, but if they had been included in the play too, the stage would have looked like a marching band had walked into the living room. And it was hard enough getting everyone up here as it was. At any rate, old Simon is Fiona's uncle by marriage and Jordan and Paula's great-grandmother. That makes Jordan and Paula and young Simon cousins. Second and third cousins. I guess I really don't know how that works. I hope that clears things up for you. Sorry for the interruption. Carry on.
Thank you.
We don't really have any notion on where we are.
Yeah, I don't even know who I am anymore.
Sorry. Continue with Kennedy's and Lauren's entrance. TJ,
Yeah.
give them their entrance kid.
What is it?
He'll probably get everything.
Who will?
Your cousin, Simon.
Oh, okay. Alright. Yeah, you're probably everything.
I'm very pleased with your investigation, Michael. I'll be back to recommend you to my other client.
Just doing my job, Miss Vincent.
Good evening, everyone.
I know we haven't met yet, but I have a pretty good idea who you all are. Jordan Starkweather and Fiona Starkweather?
Yes, that's right. She just said you want to be some investigator.
You got it. No problem.
A detective? How exciting! So, do you know this is a question?
No, ma'am, she's way out of my league. I do know who you two ladies must be, though. Well, if you're a private America. What leaves you to be happy, Collins? It's nice to finally meet you in person.
Me too, Micah. Micah and I have corresponded a few times on Mr. Starkweather's behalf.
Is the seat taken? No? I'll just sit right here.
And I expect you to remain unobtrusive.
I sure will, as soon as I put a dictionary and look it up.
Just sit over there by the fire and hush.
The fire, that too. My back says, still kind of soggy. Can you keep an eye on him? I shall do my best.
If all is in readiness, Miss Van Zandt, I should go and inform Mr. Starkweather.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Heir. There's coffee if anybody else would like some. I could do some whenever. How do you take it?
In a cup.
Why, please? Still. Miss Van Zandt, I understand that you are going to go into the particulars of why Franklin decided one was here. That is correct. Frankly, I don't think it was a good idea. Mr. Starkweather helped his precarious investment. He doesn't need things like this. I advise him to communicate. Starkweather agreed. I only hope he doesn't live to regret that decision.
Miss Weathers is bringing Mr. Starkweather to join us.
Here you are, Mr. Starkweather.
Go.
I'll be over here if you need me.
To think, I was once surrounded by presidents, kings. Could my life have shrunk to this? A handful of relatives, and a meager stack of hired help. Simon, where's my grandson?
We presume he's on his way, Mr. Starkweather.
We can't wait for him. Not enough time anymore.
Look,
Are you blind, boy? What just happened to a liar?
I was just making pleasantries, Uncle.
Save your breath. You've always been a smooth talker, Jordan, but that won't cut any icing for me. You're nothing but a greedy opportunist, boy. And I don't know. I was one myself when I was your age.
Well, I guess it runs in the family then.
Well, you have a point. Fiona, you look the same.
I do, thank you.
That wasn't meant to be a compliment.
You're just up.
I guess at my age, and with my money, I can afford to say anything I want. So I do. How is the little Georgia Peach?
Oh, little old me. Just peachy, Uncle. I beg pardon. Would you care for some coffee, Mr. Starkweather?
No. See, he can't have the caffeine in the coffee. It can affect his blood pressure. His medication can cause him to run high.
Plus, it'll keep him up at night, and I'm not dealing with that.
Apparently, I won't be having any Minerva.
Yes, sir.
Everyone aspires to live the ripe of old age. And for what? To be kept alive by medicines and machines. To be prevented from enjoying life's little pleasures. Like a cup of coffee.
You mustn't excite yourself.
You see, I'm not even allowed for strong emotions.
That bummer.
You put it very well, Rufus. Old age is a bummer. I could have never searched my vocabulary intensively and come up with such an apt description. Bummer!
Come back, you like?
According to my doctors, I don't have to remain a prisoner in this weak-old body much longer. But as you know, there's only one thing I hate to leave behind. My money.
You all right? Everybody sit down. It's all right. It's okay. Just sit down.
Well, take a wish.
Yes. So that's why I had Lois here to draw my new will. I suppose you guys like to know how I provided for you, my heirs.
Well, I, for one, admit I'm just a teensy bit curious.
A teensy bit, eh?
Move! Get out of my way! Move! I was afraid something like this would happen. Here, read these for you.
Should somebody call an ambulance?
We can't, like I said before, the phone lines are down.
He's fine, he's fine. He just needs to breathe some pure oxygen for a little bit.
Tell them.
Very well. This is the will Mr. Stefan was referring to. As you all know, he has been a phenomenal successful businessman for many years.
Yeah, I'll say. You didn't afford magazines another time.
I never read it. He has the distinction of becoming one of the world's first billionaires.
20 years ago, I begged my husband to ask Uncle Simon to advise him on his business investments, but he was too proud.
Yeah, Dad, I was right. Lots of money. Very good money.
His fortune is now worth in the neighborhood of $50 billion. If I do that, I'd ask for a raise. Okay, make it fully yourself, just a fast. I won't go into the will contents, but it's essentially bequest $1 million to each household staff, which is Mr. Jones, his handyman, Miss Trim, his housekeeper, Nancy Pollard, his maid, Vincent Hurst, his butler, Minerva Walker, his cook, and Miss Withers, his nurse. Forget the raise!
Oh, Mr. Starkweather, I had no idea.
Oh, sit down. The will goes on to state that the rest is divided equally among his surviving relatives, which is his grandson, Simon, Fiona and George Starkweather will share 1/3, and his great niece, Paul.
Isn't this nice?
I'm gonna do it right, Uncle.
Oh, Uncle, I know you got mad when Mom married the son boy, but you guys must have agreed on one thing. Blood is definitely thicker in wine.
I bet Miss Withers can tell you if it is, Paula.
Now that I have informed you all on the will contents, I have another announcement to make. As of tomorrow, the will becomes invalid. What? Sit down. What does invalid mean?
It means no good, Rufus.
Oh, I got a brother that's invalid.
What she's trying to say is, the one that we just had, we don't have it anymore, you idiot!
Oh, guess that's what we buy that big screen TV I wanted to think about after all.
Sit. You too, Lois.
How did you decide to disinherit us, Uncle?
I found a better use for my money. That's why. Oh, and I didn't cut you out entirely. All of you in Oldville will receive $50,000 each.
50,000 out of 50 billion.
Lois advised me it would be a good idea to leave you a little something. That way you'd be less likely to contest my new will.
New will?
Yes, that's why I have Kathy here, stay overnight at the Starkweather Mansion, to type it up nice and legal for my signature. Mrs. Davis, the disinterested party, can witness the signing, and then Lois will file it at the courthouse on Monday.
So, what is she doing here exactly?
Mr. Starkweather hired me Hush, hush. I succeeded in finding one to develop. Let's call him Dr. X, who agreed to help Mr. Stark with the duty he desires, which is to clone himself. What?
Clone? Oh my God!
That's insane!
What nonsense! You must be kidding.
It's immoral.
I don't understand.
Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Oh wait, hold on a second here. So, the blood and skin samples you had to prepare, the ones you said were going to be examined by specialists?
They were Nurse Withers' specialists in DNA.
I thought you were trying to find a cure.
I was. Not a cure for my various illnesses, but a cure for dying. So I did.
What? Cloning?
Precisely. Through modern science, I shall live forever.
It's not right.
That's neither here nor there. Let the moralists and politicians debate that question for years to come. In the meantime, Dr. X, as Davis named, will be creating a brand new me. Sit down, Withers. A lot of you seem to be displeased. Not, I suspect, because of the moral today, but because of your change in fortune. Well, too bad. Cloning is expensive, especially since the process I require must be done in absolute secrecy. No doubt I'll be the first person on Earth to become my own heir. With blood pressure.
Yes, Mr. Starkweather. Whoever comes first. You'll excuse me, I've got to go take his blood pressure.
Why don't you just say that?
I can't. The stupid arms are too frail. I can't get a proper reading on them. Plus, he's had enough excitement for one day. Let's go. Move it,
I guess our meeting is concluded unless anyone has any other questions.
Ask him, what the heck was that all about?
It's simple. My Colonel Simon just gave us a lot of money, but then he took it away because it changed by the code itself.
Wait, hold up. What does cologne mean?
Over there, it means to take some cells from one person's body and create an exact duplicate of the original.
They can do that? That's great. When old Mr. Starkweather passes, maybe I can get a job working for the new Mr. Starkweather.
The new Mr. Starkweather will have to be born and grow up. It goes against the laws of nature. How?
It has all been arranged. Once Dr. X creates the new cells, it will be placed in a host mother who will carry the child to its proper term.
Host mother? Who?
Me.
What?
Why not? I'm young and healthy and smart. I'm a good godmother for little Simon.
How would you ever consider being a part of this travesty?
I'll be well compensated. Besides, have you ever known anyone to give birth to a baby billionaire?
Uncle Simon is giving his money to a baby?
billions into trillions. But for what purpose? To leave it to another, then another, and another. Where will it end when there's a Simon Starkweather with enough money and power to rule the world?
We didn't discuss it, but I guess it could be right.
How could you ever condone such madness?
Oh, I can see why she would. Miss Van Zant and that Collins girl who live like a billionaire. All Mr. Starkweather's money. Money that should have gone to us and his family. But I guess they will get rich too since you're part of this scheme.
Not me. I did the job I was paid to do. Frankly, I don't care if Mr. Starkweather's science fiction experiment works out or not. I'll take my very generous check and go home.
You should be ashamed. You should all be ashamed.
I believe every lady in this room has made their feelings clear. I would like to speak to all the servants in the kitchen. We'll clear after everybody else is finished. I trust you're ready if you need anything else.
Shut up, Rufus!
Oh, Kathy, I get it. Come to my room. We can begin setting up the new room, and I'll show you how to put everything in a proper legal term.
Sure, Lois. The sooner that will is finished and signed, the better.
Wait a minute. How come nobody asked me if I wanted to be the host mother?
Here's Mr. Starkweather's blood, Paula. I don't think that'd be so proper for you.
I guess it would be coming to that.
Hold on. Y'all about to become an experiment that makes Frankenstein look like an amateur and y'all worry about proper?
Cool it, kid, before you burst a blood vessel. And besides, I get the feeling whatever that old man wants, he gets. Nicely put, Mrs. Davis. Okay? I guess I will whatever they have. Once I would witness the time of the world tomorrow, I won't have any reason to stick around. Good night.
We were just robbed!
We were?
Yes, mother. Grab the sign for Portia. All I know is he snatched it away.
That was me!
Me, since you're seeing that he was living his life, he ain't drunk on the broken on our feet.
Well, at least he's leaving us 50,000.
I thought he was dying for a beggar. He just trying to keep us from arguing about the new bill.
Yeah!
I hope he's dying to all go to the dark there tonight.
It would serve him right.
If Uncle Simon did that tonight, we would get our money back, wouldn't we? Would anybody care for a game of bridge?
Spin to your thoughts.
Mr. Starkweather,
Enjoy a burger. Dragnet.
I thought everyone had gone to bed.
Yeah, I was going to turn in, but I had an urge for the last night.
I'll go fix something.
No, please, keep moving.
Miss Trent sent me an indication the fire escape is probably shut, so there's sparks and mob out onto the road.
Well, stop with it. What about idea?
You shouldn't talk like that. You know Mr. Starkweather is an invalid. How could he...
Read my mind.
Jordan,
I got to come up our first day.
you mustn't even suggest such a thing. It's wicked.
Why suggest you know, and tonight, you have billions of dollars behind billions. This is a good time to get together.
Don't.
No kissing my door.
It's the door.
No, stop. Horrible idea.
Which part? Money or us?
The part about the money.
What about this?
and sing onions?
At midnight.
Didn't have anyone see me cry. I thought I heard someone chatting, so I came in to check. If you're hungry, come with me. I'll find you something.
Yes, Minerva. Anything to say?
Finish checking and then come give me a hand.
Yes, Minerva.
Come on.
Me. I can see. And what's with the axe? It's like this. I remember chopping wood for the fire at the mill. Of course, it started raining. I didn't put the axe back in the shed. I forgot. I've been remembering things about lately. Here it comes. For a find I just figured I could bring it inside and dry it out. I even stuck it too. But see, you guys are thinking, and that is all fine. But why bring it to a living room? And never mind that. How many times do I have to tell you? Servants never enter through the front door. As many as you want. I swear you are going to be the death of me. Now go to the kitchen and have a straight with you a towel. I ain't waiting for raining. I know that. To dry the axe. Oh, that's right. The fact, if that man had a brain, he'd be dangerous. I heard that.
What are your thoughts?
Jordan, I was just getting a breath of fresh air. What are you doing up this late?
What do you?
No thanks.
So, did you have that Mr. Will?
It's all ready, except for Mr. Stark with the signature. But I see you have calmed down. But I wouldn't blame you if you hated me.
Watch the eight. I just thinking I would do this.
I'm sure you would, Jordan.
I'm getting something though.
What?
Well, looks like you want to be a father. So like Moses, that person, and where's Frank? And who's been with you?
What?
Together.
Take your crummy hands off of me.
What?
You're getting cookie crumbs on my blouse. And by the way, forget it. If I decide little son needs a father after he's born, I'll pick a suitable husband. Not a sleazy, money-hungry slime ball like you, Jordan.
I'll kill you, bitch!
I wouldn't try it now with a detective in the house. That's what I thought.
shoot him? Well, I'm horrible idea that is. It's entirely possible. I mean, how could he defend himself? Well, I guess he could stick nurse withers on them. That might frighten away any intruders. That is true. You see, just between us, I would never want to wrestle with that woman. Where does she sleep?
In the room beyond Mr. Starkweather's, so he can hear her if he makes his bill for her during the night.
If I remember it correctly, when Mama brought me here when I was just a little thing, right there, that was a library. And beyond that was a party. Is that right?
Yes. When Mr. Starkweather became too old to go up and down the stairs, the library was converted into a bedroom for him, and Withers took the parlor.
So they're the only ones to sleep down here?
Yes. The servants' quarters are in the attic, under the eaves. We have our own staircase that leads to the kitchen. Why do you ask?
Oh, I'm just curious.
Excuse me, though. I thought that little section of dialogue was kind of awkward, and I suggested to Mr. St. that he cut it. But he felt you needed to use the layout of the house. He said, "What do you want me to do? Put a blueprint of Starkweather Men into the program?" Which I thought was kind of rude. He insisted I leave the dialogue in, so I did. But it's a bad piece of writing. I want you to know I tried to correct it. Sorry for interruption. Continue.
Thank you. I want you to know that if you do that again, you're going to have to bring yourself up here and play Miss Trent yourself.
Sorry. Makeup.
That was great. I wish I had your room. Where are we?
So you're curious about the layout of the house, are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm just curious.
You know what they said. Curiosity killed the cat.
Yes, that is what they say, isn't it? Well, I better be going now.
Wouldn't it be ironic if someone did break in tonight of all nights and...
Mrs. Starkweather?
Visitors! You guys need to go.
Sorry about that. But may I ask what those things that you're holding in your hand were?
Oh, digitalis. I have a heart condition. Maybe I should say two.
Digitalis. Doesn't that speed up your heart rate?
Oh, yes. My little heart is just pumping away.
And I suppose an overdosage could be fatal.
Extremely fatal. Or am I being redundant? Just like fatal is fatal and dead is dead. Don't you agree?
Entirely. One cannot be deader than someone else. Dead longer, perhaps? But that's the only comparison that comes to mind. And next question. Why did you bring the pills into the living room?
Oh, I came to see if Miss Withers had me 3 samples of digitalis. Medical connections, you know.
But your bottle is full already, wasn't it?
Yes, but it never hurts to plan ahead. I had better pick them up.
Allow me to assist you.
Mr. Harris, may I ask you something?
Yes?
Why are you carrying your wrench?
Oh, the wrench? Well, you see, I remember Miss Withers saying that she thought a gas pipe in Mr. Starkweather's bedroom was a little loose. So I thought I'd go give it an extra or two.
How mechanical of you. But we wouldn't want any of that gas to escape into his room, would we?
Naturally not. But first thing is first. Shall we pick up the pills.
I feel like a pigeon pecking popcorn.
This one there.
Where?
Right on D-cap. Left D-cap.
Got it. They just go everywhere.
Sound objects didn't do that, madam.
What are you doing on the floor with the...
I was picking up spilled pills. I dropped my digitalis. Move your feet, both of them.
I bet, jeez.
I assume Mr. Starkweather has required an injection?
Oh, it's nothing I can't really handle. His lungs seemed a little bit congested, so I took him from his bed, sat him in an upright position in a wheelchair, and then gave him a little injection of steroids to open bronchial passages.
Where would Uncle Simon be without you?
Dead. Without my help, he would have been gone a long time ago.
And speaking of which, Mrs. Starkweather, did you have something to ask Mrs. Withers about?
Was there?
Your digitalis, what's in this bottle?
Oh! Miss Withers! Do you happen to have any free samples of digitalis?
Yours tend to run out, don't they? I can see why. No, I'm sorry. I don't have any spare drugs on me. Your uncle needs every pill I've got to keep him going.
Well, we might as well pick up mine. Could you come with me?
I guess.
Is this a private game or can anybody play?
Miss Davis, you were picking up spilled pills.
Is that it? I thought you were going to make marble turn.
Here, I gotta get back to my duties.
Yeah. And here are mine.
So, Miss Withers, how's the boss?
Bossy. He sent me for a pitcher of water, and if I'm not back soon, he'll start ringing the little bell. I'm coming in a minute!
You see what I mean? I gather he rings for you a lot.
Constantly. See, I'll know he's kicked the bucket when the bell stops ringing.
Spoken like a true member of the medical profession. What's with the work, Spencer? Do you have some type of problem I can help you with?
Think and wait. I soon must return to my duties.
Well,
You're kind of late, Mrs. Starkweather.
I couldn't sleep. What about you?
Oh, I don't know that owl. Besides, I was hoping young Simon would arrive. I haven't met him yet.
Oh, Simon, he's a sweet boy. I do hope he's all right. You know, the storm and all.
He probably just pulled off the road to let it pass.
I certainly hope not. I guess I'll go lie down and go to sleep. Good night.
Good night.
I told you I'm coming!
Oh, you're still here.
Just keeping an eye on things.
I see.
Well, my very annoying patient!
Oh, I see you're up too, Mrs. Davis. Yeah, and I'm not guilty. There seems to be more traffic passing through Starkweather Mansion than the interstate at rush hour.
I know what you mean. I'm not surprised though. We could have guessed that Mr. Starkweather was not going to get his ass on the sleepless night.
Yeah. Between you and me, Mr. Man, how do you feel about this cloning business?
I'm only a lawyer, Mrs. Davis. I'm paid for things, not for. Can Mr. Starkweather be home? Definitely. There's no question that technology exists. Should we
not funny. I don't know where that mess is.
Oh no, he hasn't signed the will yet, has he?
Perhaps you didn't say it. Mrs. Davis is trying to, okay. Mrs. Davis, just what is? Oh my gosh. What happened?
It's Mr. Starkweather. Help him.
Her scream!
Hey, old man.
What is this doing around his neck? Hello? Are you bleeding? Oh, no, you're not. There might be a slight problem. I think someone must have put this cuff up on his neck and pumped it up to the max. $300. I think he's dead.
Poor Mr. Starkweather, whoever could have done such a thing.
Give me a break. I'd say just about you and nearly everyone else in this room are right up there on the top 10 list. Let me check the body.
Those drops on his robe. Is it blood?
I'm not sure.
What else could it be?
I'll handle this. I'm the detective, remember? What can you tell us, Miss Withers?
I remember taking that pitcher of water I was telling you about into his room, set it on the table, and checked to see if he was breathing all right. And then I went into my room because I wasn't feeling good and it was still late. And I laid down for a little bit. The lights went out. I got up to light a candle, and someone must have struck me. When I came back, I heard one of these.
Yeah, we can take it from there.
You seem to be in charge, Mrs. Davis. What do we do now?
We'll all wait until morning, and if the phones aren't up, we'll have to walk into town and notify the police that the bridge is out and report that there's been a murder at Starkweather Mansion.
Murder? Maybe he did himself in. Really? Or maybe not. No, Mrs. Simon, you're here. Oh, so we have a surprise for you.
Wasn't that the most diabolical murder you've ever seen? Don't you just love it? The way Mrs. St. John's mind burned. No wonder he went berserk. Now remember, first thing during intermission, we need you to get your ballot from your program and mark the suspect you think murdered Simon Stark. The ushers will calculate them in the lobby and take them up here as well. If any of you don't need to get a drink of water or anything, see you in 15 minutes. Sorry, I was making sure the cast knows what to do after they learn when the murder is going to be. Now, there are still things Mr. St. John is intended to put into the second act once he made up his mind who the murder is going to be. Lines or actions or clues to prove his identity. The cast rehearses the show. Now, to continue to play armchair detective to guess the person's identity. Relax and enjoy the conclusion of Murders in the Air. Action!
Dead! Dead! I can't believe grandfather's dead.
Well, he is. He's the deadest person I've ever seen.
Funny you should say that. Mr. Hurst and I were discussing the degrees of dead earlier
at a snail's pace down that long country road from town. Rain was lashing in my windshield. I could barely see. The wind was snapping the branches off the trees and flinging them against the car. I felt like I was driving through a hurricane. Once I got to the bridge that spans the river around the estate, I had to stop. It had turned into a raging river. Luckily, I remembered a place about a mile from where the dead tree had fallen years ago. I managed to walk across it and got here right before Grandfather was murdered.
That's a good story, but it sounds hers.
Not nearly enough, Jean. It's true, I swear.
Maybe, but I'm still not crossing you off my suspect list.
And just who else is on that list, Miss Davis?
Just about everyone in this house except for Miss Gaines and Miss Collins. They had a heavy lot of games. Your grandfather helped them with a few more moments. As it turns out, they're lucky cold.
Especially me. Lois has other clients, but now I'm among the unemployed.
I'm sure. But once the estate is settled, we can all arrange for you to have a generous servant's check.
Take it out of your portions, like Mother and I will have.
Yeah, I will too. Nothing personal, of course.
Of course.
What do we do now, Mrs. Davis?
The way I see it, we all said hi this morning. Then I'll have you ship the waiter car drive into town. I'll report what I know to the police, and I'll assume no one flies my helicopter. So we take everyone's statements, examine the body, and get it to the coroner's office. Once I give the close my statement, I'm finished.
But you are a detective too, and you were right here when the murder happened. You would have a better chance than anyone else at solving this case.
Maybe, but now that Mr. Starkweather is dead, I'm off the payroll.
I'll hire you today. Of course, I won't have my money till I get my portion of the inheritance. But if you're willing to wait,
You're all kidding. I figured you would for the dough. And incidentally, that offer dropped you down to the bottom of my suspect list. Establish everyone's alibi. Yeah, motives, alibis, and clues. That's what a detective has to work with. The motives in this case are obvious, and the other elements aren't yet. But hopefully they will be by the time I'm finished.
that sounds like a good plan to me. Start with Mrs. Davis.
Miss Thompson, do you mind being first?
Well, I'm quite tired. But if I have to.
You don't have to follow. None of us do.
What do you mean?
I mean, Mrs. Davis is acting real police officer. You don't have to tell the time no murder.
You're right, Joyce. But why would you refuse to cooperate unless you have something to hide?
Listen. Don't you accuse me of murder unless you have the proof.
Simon does have a point. Do you want me to tell the cops everyone cooperated except you?
Fine, I'll answer your dumb question. But first, I need to take my mother upstairs because he's a vet.
Well, thank you, Jordan. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but I'm not Methuselah either.
Calm down, mother. Are you okay? You can be intelligent.
No, but if I did, there's probably still one or two under the sofa. I had a little feel.
Well, come on. Call me.
How soon you want to question everyone in private? Kathy, if you like, we can wait up there in my room, and we can go over the old rules and send you the official one.
Sure, Lois. Excuse us.
I'm willing to stay, because hearing everyone's statements would give me a clear picture as to what happened
Mrs. Thompson, did you observe anything during that time frame that might help us?
Well, I and the other heirs were quite disappointed by Great Uncle Simon's announcement. I mean, I would understand why you might want to clown, I don't know, Low Lerman or Kate Ireland. But no offense to you or anything, your grandfather was not a nice person. Anyway, I did come down once on a little, errand. I walked by the kitchen door and I overheard that cute little maid Nancy and Minerva talking.
What's the matter with you, girl? Did you leave your mind in the other room? You haven't heard a word I said.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, Minerva. I guess I'm just so confused.
About what? Has that no-good scamp Jordan been bothering you again?
Jordan? I mean, Mr. Starkbrother? Why would you think that?
Well, when I walked in on the two of you in the living room, you were sitting mighty close together, real lovey-dovey like. What was he saying to you?
I think he wanted me to
do something you didn't want to do?
Yes, but it's not what you're thinking.
I'll bet. You better stay away from you. That boy tries anything, I'll cut him down a size.
Minerva, no. He's not interested in me. I heard him talking to Miss Collins, and...
Ha, I get the picture. When you lost your million, he lost interest in you, didn't he?
He proposed to her, but she sort of laughed in his face.
Good for her. Serves him right. That lazy bum.
Don't call him that.
Do I still hung up on him, aren't you, Nancy? Don't be a fool. Jordan would use you and toss you aside like a dozen other girls I know of.
Maybe Jordan's ready to slow down. If Mr. Starkbrother hadn't changed the new will, Jordan would be free to...
Free to do what?
Nothing. If we're done here, I'd like to go to my room now.
Go on.
Thank you.
Nancy?
Yes, Minerva.
Lock your door.
Okay.
Excuse me! That little scene in the foyer was a flashback. It showed a conversation all over her before the murder. The other characters' stories, well, portions of them, will be shown in flashback too. Isn't that clever? I just wanted to make sure you got that. That's all.
Thank you.
That woman is really asking for it. So tell me, Mrs. Trent, did you happen to observe anything suspicious?
Suspicious? I suppose you would call putting a gun around the house suspicious, even though Mr. Starkbrother wasn't shot to death.
A gun? Who has a gun?
Besides me.
Paula Thompson, that's who. Claims she's a regular Annie Oakley, and said how easy it would be for someone to come through those French doors and kill Mr. Starkbrother.
Did she now?
Ask her yourself.
Anything else?
I did happen to hear a rather odd conversation between Rufus and Mrs. Starkbrother. I had gone upstairs to distribute candles in case of a power outage, which turned out to be very useful, all because of me. And I was about to turn the corridor onto the west wing when I saw Mrs. Starkbrother at the far end near the stairs.
Do I have enough?
Mrs. Starkbrother?
Rufus!
watching TV, but the old cinema room is all messed up. The color, I mean. Every dabbling TV channel is green. NBC is green, ABC is green, Disney Channel is green, even Nickelodeon is green. It seems like every channel is starring Kermit the Frog.
How disconcerting.
You can say that again, whatever it means. Are there references? I won't mind a few. I can still taste the onions Minerva's service for supper.
No, Rufus. If you took any of these, they would kill you. Literally.
Well, in that case, I'll pass. You know, you don't want them lying around though. If somebody eat a whole bunch by mistake and kill over there.
That's entirely possible.
What would you put on their death certificate? Cause of that bad breath?
It isn't a laughing matter. I need these pills. Every one of them.
Rufus had an axe in the house.
Yes, Master Simon. I had extracting shots of fire earlier toward the fire.
I'm surprised you didn't trust him with an axe.
Personally, I wouldn't trust him with a butter knife, even those little black ones. I was just simply relaying Mr. Starkweather's instructions.
Anything else?
Just one that I can think of. Earlier tonight, I saw Master Jordan at the door to Mr. Starkweather's bedroom, and it's the other one. It seemed that he was about to go in whenever Miss Withers walked out. It was apparent, or started appearing to that time, had startled him.
Well, what do you want?
Well, I was came down here to find it.
No, me, that's what I'm paid to do.
Well, how is he?
He's breathing, if that's what you're worried about.
Do you think he'll make it through the night?
I think he'll keep his heart beating out of sheer determination long enough to get that new bill signed. Is that the only thing you care about, Jordan?
What even does man Withers? Like got in my head.
Just save your breath, okay? Because I know for a fact that you, like the majority of the House, would like to see him drop dead before daybreak.
Including you. Because $1 million is a lot of money. And a lot of people will kill for that much.
If that's a hint, you might as well forget it. See, as his nurse, I'd be the first suspect if his death appeared anything but natural causes.
Well, suspecting and proving are two different things.
I'm gonna forget you said that. Good night, Jordan. Yeah, it's true. Jordan said I was in a position to end his grade on his mother. But I'm assuming that Benson first told you I did refuse.
He did, but you could have changed your mind.
Oh, yeah, totally. And then turned around and told him the blood pressure cuff. That's not natural cause of mistakes.
I agree. The manner in which he was murdered makes no sense at all. Whoever did it.
It's as if the killer is flaunting the deed in our faces.
Why would they do that?
I'm not sure. So tell me, Miss Withers, if you had to pick a likely suspect to be a murderer, who would it be?
Off the record, I'd have to say that Paula Thompson. Southern girls can put the charm on when they want to. She just seems too good for me. But when you get down to it, Scarlet O'Hara was pretty ruthless.
And we told Cousin Paula has a gun.
You see what I mean? I'd say her and probably Jordan were the most desperate to get their hands on Mr.
What can we do? It's out of our hands.
Don't be such a whim, Cousin Jordan. That money is rightfully ours. There's got to be a way to get it.
Maybe we can put Uncle Simon in the same.
I've thought of that already, but it won't work. You see, cloning is a proven science. It's been done before. We would just lose the case.
Probably submitting the pity if they want to hear our lawyers.
Yeah, like that Miss Van Zandt. She...
What is it?
I'm thinking if you can't beat them, join them.
What?
I just thought of a brilliant plan to get that lawyer to put me on her team.
So what is it?
Think for yourself, Cousin Jordan. Now, if you don't mind, I have to go find myself a lawyer.
Well, you can't beat them. Oh, okay. Now where might that cat be?
It's true. Jordan did suggest we get married, but it wasn't a fancy, romantic, dreamed up proposal. It was more like a business proposition.
You were going to have access to billions. So what was Jordan going to offer you?
Himself, I guess, but in my opinion, that fortune kind of would be worth a penny.
Then you did turn it down?
Jordan is okay in a smarmy sort of way, but anyone who married him would be a fool. And believe me, Micah, I am no fool.
I knew that from the time we started working together.
But you were smart enough to carry out my grandfather's.
Sorry, I was making sure the cast knows what to do after they learn who the murder is going to be. Now, there are still things Mr. St. John has intended to put into the second act once he made up his mind who the murder is going to be. Lines or actions or clues to Pontiac's identity. The cast will work this into the show. Now, would you continue playing our character chapter to guess the person's identity? Relax and enjoy the conclusion of Murders in the Air. Action!
Dead! I can't believe grandfather's dead.
Well, he is. He's the deadest person I've ever seen.
Funny you should say that. Mr. Hurst and I were discussing the degrees of dead earlier and
Wonder, please.
And he was murdered.
There's no doubt about it. You talk about it.
Poor grandfather. But sooner, maybe.
How do we know you did it, Mr.
What?
For all we know, you took a ride hours ago, parked your car out of sight, and killed the lights moments before you murdered Simon Starkweather.
Okay, that is ridiculous. Why would I kill him?
I'd say a third of a $50 billion fortune is a pretty good reason to knock somebody off.
But I didn't know about the new will. I didn't know about that crazy cloning scheme that you told me about earlier.
It would have been easy enough to hide outside those French doors and eat it up on the conversation.
Why would I hide? I was expected here. I told you what happened.
So be it.
All right, all right. I had to creep at a snail's pace down that long country road from town. Rain was lashing in my windshield. I could barely see. The wind was snapping the branches off the trees and flinging them against the car. I felt like I was driving through a hurricane. Once I got to the bridge that spans the river around the estate, I had to stop. It had turned into a raging river. Luckily, I remembered a place about a mile from where the dead tree had fallen years ago. I managed to walk across it and got here right before grandfather was murdered.
That's a good story, but it sounds hers.
Not nearly enough, Jean. It's true, I swear.
Maybe, but I'm still not crossing you off my suspect list.
And just who else is on that list, Miss Davis?
Just about everyone in this house, except
on your course of life. Mother and I will pass.
Yeah, I will too. Nothing personal, of course.
Of course.
What do we do now, Mrs. Davis?
The way I see it, we all sit tight this morning. But I'll usually the way your car drives into town. I'll report what I know to the police. And I'll assume no one flying my helicopter. Look at it, take everyone's statements, examine the body, and get it to the coroner's office. Once I give the visuals my statement, I'm finished.
But you are a detective too. And you were right here when the murder happened. You would have a better chance than anyone else at solving this case.
Maybe, but now that Mr. Starkweather is dead, I'm off the payroll.
I'll hire you today. Of course, I won't have my money till I get my portion of the inheritance. But if you're willing to wait,
You're all kidding. I figured you good for the dough. And incidentally, that offer dropped you down to the bottom of my suspect list. Establish everyone's alibi. Yeah, motives, alibis, and clues. That's what a detective has to work with. The motives in this case are obvious, and the other elements aren't yet. But hopefully they will be by the time I'm finished.
that sounds like a good plan to me. Let's start with Mrs. Davis.
Miss Thompson, do you mind being first?
Well, what? Tired. But if I have to.
You don't have to bother. None of us do.
What do you mean?
I mean, Mrs. Davis is a real police officer. You don't have to tell the time no murder.
You're right, Joyce. But why would you refuse to cooperate unless you have something to hide?
Listen. Don't you accuse me of murder unless you have proof.
Simon does have a point. Do you want me to tell the cops everyone cooperated except you?
Fine, I'll answer your dumb question. But first, I need to take my mother upstairs because she needs a rest.
Well, thank you, Jordan. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but I'm not Methuselah either.
Calm down, mother. Are you okay? You can continue telling this?
No, but if I did, there's probably still one or two under the sofa. I had a little feel.
Well, come on. Call me.
How soon you want to question everyone in private? Captain, if you like, you can wait up there in my room, and we can go over the oath and send you the official.
Sure, Lois. Excuse us.
I'm willing to stay because hearing everyone's statements would give me a clear picture as to what happened at the Circular Mansion tonight.
You're the boss now. I'm particularly interested in what happened between the time Mr. Starkweather announced he was changing his will and the time his body was discovered.
So, how long was that?
Several hours. Well, Miss Thompson, did you observe anything during that time frame that might help us?
Well, I and the other heirs were quite disappointed by Great Uncle Simon's announcement. I mean, I would understand why you might want to clone, I don't know, Logan Lerman or Kate Arden. But no offense to you or anything, your grandfather was not a nice person. Anyway, real lovey-dovey like. What was he saying to you?
I think he wanted me to
do something you didn't want to do?
Yes, but it's not what you're thinking.
I'll bet. He better stay away from you. That boy tries anything, I'll cut him down a size.
Minerva, no. He's not interested in me. I heard him talking to Miss Collins, and...
Ha, I get the picture. When you lost your million, he lost interest in you, didn't he?
He proposed to her, but she sort of laughed in his face.
Good for her. Serves him right. That lazy bum.
Don't call him that.
You are still hung up on him, aren't you, Nancy? Don't be a fool. Jordan would use you and toss you aside like a dozen other girls I know of.
Maybe Jordan's ready to slow down. If Mr. Starkweather hadn't changed the new will, Jordan would be free to...
Free to do what?
Nothing. If we're done here, I'd like to go to my room now.
Go on.
Thank you.
Nancy?
Yes, Minerva.
Lock your door.
Okay. That little scene in the foyer was a flashback. It showed a conversation all over her before the murder. The other characters' stories, well, portions of them, will be shown in flashback too. Isn't that clever? I just wanted to make sure you got that. That's all. Thank you.
That woman is really asking for it. So tell me, Mrs. Trent, did you have observed anything suspicious?
Suspicious? I suppose you would call putting a gun around the house suspicious, even though Mr. Starkweather wasn't shot to death.
A gun? Who has a gun?
Besides me.
Paula Thompson, that's who. Claims she's a regular Annie Oakley, and said how easy it would be for someone to come through those French doors and kill Mr. Starkweather.
Did she now?
Ask her yourself.
Anything else?
I did happen to hear a rather odd conversation between Rufus and Mrs. Starkweather. I had gone upstairs to distribute candles in case of a power outage, which turned out to be very useful, all because of me. And I was about to turn the corridor onto the west wing when I saw Mrs. Starkweather at the far end near the stairs.
Do I have enough?
Mrs. Starkweather?
You scared me out of a year's road.
That's okay, ma'am. At our age, all of us going sideways, don't we?
I certainly hope not. Anyways, what are you doing with that television set? It doesn't even look like a portable.
It is now. I'm borrowing it from one of the guest rooms that ain't in use.
Whatever for.
Well, you see, I ain't sleepy, so I thought I'd watch some TV. But the old cinema room is all messed up. The color, I mean. Every dabbling TV channel is green. NBC is green. ABC is green. Disney Channel is green. Even Nickelodeon is green. It seems like every channel is starring Kermit the Frog.
How disconcerting.
You can say that again. Whatever it means. Are there references? I wouldn't mind a few. I can still taste the onions Minerva served us for supper.
No, Rufus. If you took any of these, they would kill you. Literally.
Well, in that case, I'll pass. You know, you don't want them lying around though. If somebody eat a whole entirely possible. What would you put on their death certificate? Cause of that bad breath?
It isn't a laughing matter. I need these pills, every one of them.
Rufus had an axe in the house.
Yes, Master Simon. I had tracked him chops with fire earlier, according to the Bible.
I'm surprised you even trust him with an axe.
Personally, I wouldn't trust him with the butter knife, even those little plastic ones. I was just simply relaying Mr. Starkweather's instructions.
Anything else?
Just one that I can think of. Earlier tonight, I saw Master Jordan at the door to Mr. Starkweather's bedroom, and it's the other one. It seemed that he was about to go in whenever Miss Withers walked out. It was apparent, or it started to appear to that time, had startled him.
Well, what do you want?
Well, I was came out here to everyone's finest.
No, me, that's what I'm paid to do.
Well, how is he?
He's breathing, if that's what you're worried about.
Do you think he'll make it through the night?
I think he'll keep his heart beating out of sheer determination long enough to get that new will signed. Is that the only thing you care about, Jordan?
What do you mean, Jordan? Man, Withers. I got it in my head.
Just save your breath, okay? Because I know for a fact that you, like the majority of the House, would like to see him drop dead before daybreak.
Including you. Because $1 million is a lot of money. And a lot of people will kill for that much.
If that's a hint, you might as well forget it. See, as his nurse, I'd be the first suspect if his death appeared anything but natural causes.
Well, suspecting and proving are two different things.
I'm gonna forget you said that. Good night, Jordan. Yeah, it's true. Jordan said I was in a position to end his grade on his mother. But I'm assuming that Benjamin first told you I did refuse.
He did, but you could have changed your mind.
Oh, yeah, totally. And then turned around and told him with the blood pressure cuff. That's not natural cause of the mistakes.
I agree. The manner by which he was murdered makes no sense at all. Whoever did it.
It's as if the killer is flaunting the deed in our faces.
Why would they do that?
I'm not sure. So tell me, Miss Withers, if you had to pick a likely suspect to be a murderer, who would it be?
Off the record, I'd have to say that Paula Thompson. Southern girls can put the charm on when they want to. She just seems too good for me. But when you get down to it, Scarlet O'Hara was pretty ruthless.
And we told Cousin Paula has a gun.
You see what I mean? I'd say her and probably Jordan were the most desperate to get their hands on Mr. Starkweather's room. I overheard them earlier this evening, shortly after Miss Van Zandt had mentioned their will. They didn't notice me in the corridor, though.
Well, what are we gonna do?
Dude, what can we do? It's out of my hands.
Don't be such a wimp, Cousin Jordan. That money is rightfully ours. There's got to be a way to get it.
Maybe we can put up Simon in the sand.
I've thought of that already, but it won't work. You see, cloning is a proven science. It's been done before. We would just lose the case.
Probably spending the pity if they want to hear our lawyers.
Yeah, like that Miss Van Zandt. She...
What is it?
I'm thinking if she can't be a I just thought of a brilliant plan to get that lawyer to put me on her team.
So what is it?
Pay for yourself, Cousin Jordan. Now, if you don't mind, I have to go find myself a lawyer.
Well, can't be there. Oh, now where might that cat be?
It's true. Jordan did suggest you get married, but it wasn't a fancy, romantic, dreamed up proposal. It was more like a business proposition.
You were going to have access to billions. So what was Jordan going to offer you?
Himself, I guess, but in my opinion, that fortune kind of would be worth a penny.
Then you did turn him down?
Jordan is okay in a smarmy sort of way, but anyone who married him would be a fool. And believe me, Micah, I am no fool.
I knew that from the time we started working together.
But we're smart enough to carry out my grandfather's